When it comes to natural disasters, few are as terrifying as sinkholes. There's just something so daunting about a giant, cavernous hole suddenly appearing in the middle of a road or neighborhood without warning. Some are small enough to not cause much damage, while others are large enough to swallow entire streets or houses. Most sinkholes occur naturally due to erosion in the ground. Erosion can take place weeks or even years before the actual sinkhole makes itself known. And then, of course, there are man-made sinkholes where drilling, mining, and changes in weight on the surface can eventually cause a roadway to collapse. From China to Russia, here are monster sinkholes that were caught on camera.
Number 5. The Heavenly Sinkhole, China. Few sinkholes in the world can rival the Shaozhai Tiankeng in China, also known as the Heavenly Pit. It is the deepest sinkhole in the world. The sinkhole is a staggering 2,054 feet long and 1,762 feet wide. At its deepest point, it is 2,172 feet deep. The sinkhole sits in the forest of Guangzhou, but the sinkhole holds a number of surprises. The sinkhole actually has two parts or bowls to it. The upper bowl has a depth of 1,049 feet, and the lower bowl has a depth of 1,122 feet. The sinkhole was discovered in 1994 by British explorers, and it was a surprising discovery. The sinkhole is home to a wide variety of plant and animals, as there have been 1,285 different plant and animal species identified in the sinkhole to date.
When most people think of sinkholes, they think of massive structures that swallow up roadways. However, they can also occur in residential areas, which is precisely what happened on November 18, 2014. On this date, in the Perm region of Russia, one of the mines belonging to the Uralkali company flooded. All of the workers in the area had to be evacuated, and it wasn't long until a massive sinkhole with a diameter of nearly 100 feet formed. Footage taken from an aerial vantage point shows just how massive the hole became, and how it developed right in the middle of some homes. But that wasn't the end of it. The sinkhole wasn't repaired, and over the course of 9 months, the sinkhole grew immensely in size. It started out with a diameter of 100 feet, but soon its diameter reached just under 400 feet. You can see for yourself just how much bigger the sinkhole became thanks to more aerial footage showing how the hole grew in size in less than 1 year. The Uralkali company stood to lose quite a bit of money from the incident. Worst-case scenarios forecasted that the company could lose 30% of its 2015 net profit. This came at a time when shares were already on the decline from the company. The hole remains massive in scale, and the houses nearby remain empty. Many sinkholes have popped up over Russia in recent decades. The main reason for this is that between 1993 and 2005, a few hundred earthquakes with magnitudes between 2 and 5 occurred in the Berezniki-Solikamsk region. These earthquakes resulted in underground mines collapsing. Many of these tunnels have already been mined out, but the compromised integrity has given way to sinkholes.
The Guatemala City Sinkholes. Guatemala is prone to sinkholes. The city has experienced 2 surprising sinkholes, one in 2007 and a more recent one in 2010. The city is built on pumice stone. The pumice stone was deposited into the earth during past volcanic activity. But because the ground is made of pumice stone, the ground beneath the city is neither solid nor stable. As such, the ground is very susceptible to water. But the sinkholes in Guatemala were not entirely caused by natural causes, like most sinkholes. They were actually caused by sewage leakage. On May 30th, 2010, a massive sinkhole opened up Guatemala's Zona 2. The sinkhole was 60 feet wide and 300 feet deep. It swallowed up a 3-story house, and 15 people died as a result of the sinkhole. Now, the ground was likely already weakened a bit by Tropical Storm Agatha and her fierce rain. But engineers have pointed to broken sewage pipes as the main culprit. Engineers have also warned that if the sewage problem is not addressed, there will surely be more sinkholes in the coming years. So plans are underway to fill the current sinkhole with soil cement and to fix the underlying sewage problem. But it's a race against the clock, as the pipes need to be fixed before another disastrous sinkhole opens up. The Cerro Sari-Sari-Nama sinkholes. The Sari-Sari-Nama sinkholes are particularly unusual because of their location and their shape. The sinkholes are perfectly circular sinkholes, and they sit atop the high mesas of the Tepuy, or tabletop, mountain region of Venezuela. The sinkholes are part of the João Sari-Sari-Nama National Park, and currently 4 sinkholes have been found. They are so unusual that they have become a source of fascination for scientists. 3 of them have even been named the Cima Humboldt, the Cima Martel, and the Cima de la Lluvia. The sinkholes are in a very remote location, and from above, the sinkholes are a sight to behold as they sink into the lush surrounding forest. They are also very big. The largest of the 4 is 1,150 feet wide and 1,000 feet deep. The sinkholes were first discovered in 1961.
The previous video shows what happens all too often. A sinkhole forms without any advanced warning, and many times motorists are in the line of fire. Amazingly, officials knew a sinkhole was about to happen in this next clip, and they took the necessary actions to keep drivers safe. State media released surveillance footage showing a sinkhole forming in the middle of a busy intersection located in eastern China. At the beginning of this footage, you can see the road dip ever so slightly. It's hard to notice, but something is definitely going wrong here. It's not long until the road buckles under its own pressure and collapses. The camera zooms out to reveal all of the vehicles that have been at a standstill while authorities waited for the sinkhole to collapse. Once they see the extent of the damage, motorists are allowed to continue on their way. Some people may be late getting to work, but it's better than ending up at the bottom of a sinkhole. So what should you do if you find a sinkhole forming in the road or by your house? First and foremost, you want to stay away. Leave the area immediately and contact either city management or your insurance company if the sinkhole is close to your house. Some sinkholes are deeper than others, but you don't want to see how bad a certain area is by sticking around for too long. Do you have any natural disasters you want to see us cover in a future video? Be sure to let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, be sure to click the link on screen to check out our video of
the Siberian sinkholes. The Siberian sinkholes are mysterious, and their source of creation is a source of contention among scientists. Located on the peninsulas of Yamal and Gaidan, some scientists believe that these massive sinkholes are actually caused by underground gas bubbles that are exploding because the permafrost is melting. The sinkholes were first discovered in 2014 at the Bovanenkovskoye gas field. One of the largest sinkholes, called B2, has a diameter of 196 feet and is 656 feet deep. Dozens of these strange sinkholes have been found in the region, but their exact cause is still unknown, as further investigation is still underway.
November 8, 2016, a giant sinkhole opened up on a 4-lane crossroads located in Fukuoka City in southern Japan. Video footage shows the final remnant of the road finally collapsing into the hole, which is massive in scale. Luckily, no cars were in the area when it opened up. After the hole formed, an investigation was immediately underway to determine the cause. It was found that the hole was most likely caused by construction work taking place underneath the city to expand its subway system. The local council had to get to work right away to ensure the sinkhole would not expand further and consume nearby buildings. The sinkhole measured 65 feet in depth, and the city's mayor said that such an event taking place was unprecedented. However, the sinkhole would not disrupt traffic for long. Within just a few days, the hole was being filled with a mixture of sand and cement. It only took workers 2 days to fix the damaged utility lines and resurface the impacted area of the road. Someone who worked on the project stated that that section of road was 30 times stronger than it was prior to the collapse. The entire thing was fixed in 1 week, and it wasn't long until vehicles and pedestrians were allowed to make use of the busy roadway. Believe it or not, sinkholes are incredibly common in China. Massive development in the country has paved the way for numerous sinkholes to form over the years, with one of the latest examples taking place in December of 2019. The Liuchuo metro station opened in 2017, and just 2 years later, a sinkhole formed over it. Dashcam footage was acquired showing the moment the sinkhole formed, and unfortunately, 2 cars were caught in it. Fortunately, no fatalities were reported, but the event did a lot more than swallow up a few cars. The sinkhole also damaged a pipe that ended up flooding the subway station. This sinkhole was just the latest example of China's serious sinkhole problem. Just 2 weeks before this happened, another huge sinkhole opened while metro construction was taking place in the city of Guangzhou. The issue has gotten so bad that some experts believe that by 2090, an estimated 5 million people will have to evacuate out of an area the size of Los Angeles due to sinking regions. Construction on new subways, in addition to the development of new coal mines, has created a major problem for the country, and numerous buildings already exist that are uninhabitable due to the looming threat.
The sinkhole is also home to a powerful underground river and a large and complex earth cave. The Dragon Hole. The Dragon Hole is a blue sinkhole near the Paracel Islands in the South China Sea. Blue holes are a specific type of sinkhole that are covered in water. They are called blue holes because they appear blue when viewed from above. Blue holes were formed during the Ice Age, when the sea levels were a lot lower than they are now. When the ice melted, the sinkholes became covered in water. Most blue holes contain both salt water and fresh water. It's called the Dragon Hole because it is so deep. In fact, it is the deepest blue hole in the world, with a depth of 987 feet. The sinkhole is situated close to the Discovery Reef, and as such, it is surrounded by a very delicate ecosystem of coral reef. Scientists are eager to learn more about this unusual sinkhole, but the location of the sinkhole makes it very difficult to access. The Katara Depression. The top spot on this list of 10 unusual sinkholes that surprised everyone is the Katara Depression. The Katara Depression is an unusual sinkhole because it's both entirely natural and entirely massive. In fact, the Katara Depression is the largest natural sinkhole in the world. The sinkhole is west of Cairo, Egypt. It is an astonishing 190 miles long and 84 miles wide. It covers a surface area of 7,570 miles. And it's very deep, with a maximum depth of 482 feet. The sinkhole is in the Western Desert and is actually 436 feet below sea level, making it the second lowest point in Africa. The bottom of the sinkhole is a variety of salt pans, sand dunes, and salt marshes. But the sinkhole is very dangerous in places, as it's also full of quicksand pits. The sinkhole was formed by salt weathering and wind erosion. And although a natural sinkhole of this size is surprising in its own right, the Katara Depression might also serve a surprising function. The Katara Depression actually sits quite close to the Mediterranean Sea, so scientists are wondering if the sinkhole could be used to generate hydroelectricity. The Katara Depression Project, as it's been called, is researching the feasibility of digging a 50-mile tunnel from the sinkhole to the sea. The Dead Sea Sinkholes. The Dead Sea sinkholes sit along the banks of the Dead Sea, and their sudden appearance has been surprising. The sinkholes are a direct result of the growing demands being placed on the Jordan River. The Jordan River is being overused for irrigation and drinking water, and because the Jordan River flows directly into the Dead Sea has begun to recede. In fact, the Dead Sea has been sinking at a rate of 3 feet per year. This has allowed fresh water to seep into the exposed shoreline, and the fresh water has dissolved the salt underground. When the salt is dissolved, tiny little caves form below the ground surface. These little caves are collapsing, causing sinkholes. And although these sinkholes are beautiful to look at, they are potentially dangerous. These sinkholes are appearing without warning and pose a significant threat to anyone on the shoreline.
There are a lot of great videos online of the aftermath of sinkholes. It's still plenty impressive to see a massive hole in the ground where there used to be houses or roads. But it's another thing entirely to actually see a sinkhole beginning to develop and witness how drivers react to it. That is precisely what happened in this traffic cam footage of cars passing by a hole forming in the road right before it's about to collapse. Pay close attention to the middle of the screen. You can clearly see the road beginning to buckle. The drivers in its path also notice, and they begin taking preventative actions. They swerve out of the way to avoid causing the sinkhole to form prematurely. Luckily, other drivers seem pretty understanding and move out of the way for them. With one lane completely out of commission, a bottleneck occurs. The cars in the other lanes slow to a crawl. However, getting stuck in traffic isn't anywhere near as bad as being in the middle of a sinkhole when it collapses, and that is exactly what happened not too long after. The driver in one car nearest to the edge was likely having a bit of a panic attack, but fortunately no one was in harm's way when the ground gave out. And of course, what should happen when a sinkhole poses a public safety risk? Why, officials should immediately get out there and put up a barrier in the one spot that doesn't really need it. Extreme natural disasters that were caught on camera. As always, thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next time.